Chris Tynes said, Leslie Wilson says, my cat has totally stolen my comfy seat. And I said, Daniel has totally stolen my comfy seat.
I'm sorry. Well, fine. I'll just leave then. Have fun. Anyway, great seeing you.
Actually, I'm going to leave too. I got to go get something.
Yeah, food. I'm going to get some ice cream. Well, thanks all. It's been a pleasure. Have a great time. We'll see you on the planes. Thanks for being Patreons. And yeah, what do you want to do now? I reckon that was a good show. That's a great show. What's on TV? No, where's the remote control now? Yeah, I'll have the ice cream with the chocolate.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, we're back.
Everybody.
We're back.
Everybody, I wanted to let everybody know my favorite Australian is in the house, the Tasmanian Devil.
Oh,
and then there's this guy, Daniel Shaw. Good to see you guys here. We've got the chat blown up here. We've got the camera here. We've got Daniel here. We've got his TIT in the driveway. It's surreal.
My tit's in the driveway.
It's surreal seeing it out here.
Why is my tit in the driveway?
They all know what the TIT is. Everybody.
The TIT or the tit?
Everybody here knows what the TIT is.
See, he's got... How many tits do you have now? You got one tit.
Well, I have the windbreaker now.
I got 2 tits.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm trying to keep this one straight, but that just didn't come out quite right. Okay, the TIT means tornado intercepting tornado. I have 2, one in Australia, one here.
Yep. They're both. You have silver RAV4s.
Correct.
But on one, they accidentally put the steering wheel on the wrong side.
Which country?
I don't know. That's the question right there.
That's up for debate now. I like being on the left-hand side and the right-hand side because being on the both sides is good. Funny, we actually didn't rehearse what we're going to do for the start. We figured we're going to let this flow. We thought about doing a video, which we may actually still do after the fact, but we figured, well, live is more spontaneous, and we have some extra people coming in to help. Now, just a disclaimer here, there may be a few swear words thrown in, so this is not a PG-rated stream, so if there's any kids in the house... I don't know, bring them along, who knows? But it's a Patreon special. Thank you for your wonderful support and keeping us fed.
Yeah, right.
Send lots of money, keeps us...
This
the more money you send, the round does it get. So, pat the belly.
Let me go tilt the camera up.
I'm just going to hide that. Just put some makeup on the belly, that'll make it go away. This was... I think this was before I got on the flight. Maybe this will go shortly.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when all of the dew points and all of the moisture is scoured out of Tornado Alley. This is what happens. So it's looking like, according to the current models, the current runs, we are not going to have moisture return into Tornado Alley until next Friday. But hopefully that model is wrong.
And of course it's raining as we speak right now, so there is moisture. We just need it to be in a certain position with the right wind profile. So it's a big trip. I'm here for 87 days plus hotel quarantine, 101 days of travel. Yeah. I'm already tired and I'm like 7 days into it.
Yeah. Well, you've been chasing a lot as well.
I have. I've traveled across the country already. I've traveled across the world just to get to where we are. And we're in Houston. We're both vaccinated, which is good to see. We're glowing and we're both 5G enabled. So we highly recommend the vaccine because the 5G enablement means we can connect ourselves as a second Wi-Fi point. In this case, for me, sixth or seventh Wi-Fi point.
So they're saying you can edit your belly out in post.
No, I can't. It's too much work. And what happens on the belly stays on the belly.
Yeah, right. I guess so. So Daniel.
Yes. What?
You had to really work hard to get here from Australia. They don't just let you out of Australia, and they don't just let you into America that easy. And you had to really work hard we didn't know if you were going to even make it here.
Getting out of Australia to get to America was tough. The logistics this year was unbelievable. You needed permission from the government. Had to do a big letter for that one. Had the first vaccine run. Thankfully, no side effects on that one.
Yeah.
So I got mine perfectly fine.
I got mine yesterday. And Daniel that's when he hits me lightly in the arm and I fall to the
sorry. Yeah. I can't do it. I'm too nice a person. I mean, why would the hell would I ever hit Hank? I mean, there's actually no reason I'm saying to that. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Okay. Well, we're wondering how fast it was going to go downhill, and I reckon we've met that 10% of our target.
Blue Husky says, my friend just bought the entire Southern Backtones library. Thank you, Blue Husky. And Rachel says, do you guys have any special plans this season? I do.
Hopefully get out of the mild rain and actually chase some storms. We've got a big season ahead of us, a lot of driving, and we've got some questions we want to get to as well. But I mean, let
me get to that one. I've invested your money in a lot of new stuff, new computers, two new computers. I've got several new cameras. I got a drone, should show up any day. Amazon Prime's going to knock on the door tonight with some devices, and I got a new high-speed camera. So for me, just getting a normal CG lightning strike is going to be great. Just so I'm starting all over. I get to get everything all over. So I'm looking forward to that. What about you?
I've invested the computer we're using right now, which is buffering, is going to be a really stable connection, which is what's going to happen. The audio is going to, and it's going to, and you're not meant to laugh when I do the audio dropouts. Good stable connections and very good quality audio gear for those watching the live streams, which of course I live stream. Yeah. We've invested in a lot of gear thanks to your support, getting good quality audio which does not break up, and with everything works well. So, I'm getting better at doing that. Fake. Ow. It doesn't hurt, right? My vaccine arm was on the other arm, by the way, and it was 4 weeks ago. So take that, he said. Lots of travel. Amazingly. On the way over, when I got the car out, last year in Mississippi, tree came down across the road, car went over the tree at 35 miles an hour. It's a decent branch, about that thick. Car went airborne a bit. 3 cars went off the road and actually blew out their tyres. My tyres survived. I only found out, amazingly, this year, a short time ago, that actually broke and actually damaged the rim itself. And only when we changed it, we ran some run flats.
So these are run flat tires.
So if you can afford the run flat tires, highly recommend it. Yeah. So it's going to be a big season ahead. Bit of a quiet period as obviously the temperatures and everything comes in, and all the moisture, all the wind parameters, everything comes back to the plains and fires up traditional Tornado Alley. But no doubt, all being well, belly included, we're going to be out there. And now that I have a tracking device in more than one car, including yours, we should know exactly where he is so we can find the real storm.
So you can see tornadoes.
Exactly, so we can see tornadoes.
So I got. So Lucas says the drone idea was a hard no. He's calling me out right in front of everybody, just calling me out. He said, laughing out loud, the drone idea was a hard no from me the last few years, and finally the day came. I hope you have fun with it. So. Yeah, Lucas. One of the things that I hated about drone is when you see people with drones, it's like there's a beautiful tornado on the ground and they're doing this, and I just can't stand the thought of doing this when there's a tornado on the ground. I want to look at it with my own eyes. So usually when we see them, we set the video camera, we're taking pictures, but you're experiencing the tornado. However, that being said, what Brandon Clemens is the guy that's just killing it in Mississippi and in Dixie Alley when you can't see them anyway. So that is a perfect opportunity to use a drone. And then also there's like when you run into the roadblocks. Yeah. Once the tornado's been on the ground for a while, you can't go anymore. So I'm not going to be actively. That's going to be plan C for me, the drone. But when those opportunities come, I'm going to throw the drone up, but honestly, I don't really see myself getting tornado drone footage. If it's a little storm, I'll get some pretty shots and have fun with it. I say that now, but we'll see. So I had to say that. Lucas was calling me out.
Yeah, which reveals our really exciting announcement. Patreon Jetpack is here. That's Jetpack. So Patreon Jetpack is a new $20,000 per day stream, where we get to put on a jetpack and fly into the tornado and fly around it with a GoPro strapped to our head.
Oh, I see. So if somebody signs up at $20,000
a day,
then that's what
we get to put a jetpack on our backs and fly around with a live stream from a GoPro.
All right, I say we put everybody's money into his, and then we watch you do that.
No, look,
I'll film it with a drone.
I'm
and we'll
more
make the
than
money
happy
back.
to donate my resources, time, and love, so you can fly in, and I'll capture some great shots from the ground as you plummet back to earth.
Hank, any plans?
Is that wrong?
Robert,
Is that wrong?
Robert Bonfield says, "Oh, did I interrupt you?"
No.
It says, "Hank,
I mean, I can talk over Hank
any
anytime I
plans
want. He can
to
talk
come
as much as he
back
wants.
to
I can keep
Australia?"
talking. He wants competition. Can I keep going? Come on. I can do it. I can go head to head.
Yeah, you're right.
Continue on.
Yeah.
What's this about Rob? Poor
You're
Rob.
right. That's
We
a-
just neglected Rob.
that's-
what? What do we? What the battle of over talking each other?
So
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. I'd never interrupt you. I'd never interrupt when you start talking.
Will you read
There's
that?
no point for it.
will you read that for me?
Yeah, that's fine. Poor Hank was trying to say to Rob Bonfield, Hank, any plans to come back to Australia?
So I asked him. I said,
The answer is no.
and you said no. He said I can't come back. He said they won't let Americans in that
Yeah,
country.
unfortunately, the answer is no. Hank has been barred from Australia. At this present time, you're considered too high a security risk. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just by having a red, white, and blue flag, right?
Mate,
Maybe.
can I answer that question without being shot?
If they let me
I'm
in,
in Texas. I don't know if you're packing. This could be the stream that ends all streams. I have to be careful here.
actually, I traded my only gun for a cello, so I'm gunless.
I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah.
Just.
Don't worry,
fine.
I'm not gonna hit you with a cello.
No, put it down.
Not gonna hit you with a cello.
Okay.
So yeah, hopefully
In Texas.
as soon as Australia lets me back in. But we're also talking about maybe going to Argentina this year. So for storm season in this. I'm sorry, somebody else. They don't let Australians in Argentina. So yeah, you guys know all that.
This is news for me. It sounds good. Someone's selling Garrett is selling the AR-15. Can they sell an AR-15 to? You know, we banned guns many years ago, so I'm not.
Oh yeah, you can sell.
Although I know how to shoot because I mean I'm not a bad. I could go toe to toe.
Yeah, you sell AR-15s on eBay
I
and
just keep
Craigslist.
I just keep getting I'm the one with the gun here.
Facebook store.
Okay.
Blue Husky says, Hank, any tips for my first time chasing in the alley this May? Yes, you want to chase rain-wrapped wedges in Dixie Alley.
No, you don't. No. Bad idea. This advice was brought to you by Hank Schyma. Hank Schyma, limited life company. Do not follow his advice under any circumstances whatsoever. So now that I've said that,
Well, what would you say? Any advice?
for chasing, don't go to Dixie Alley.
Don't do that.
If you're starting out with chasing, start with a tour group, photography group. There's lots of tour groups out there.
Yeah, right.
And learn from the start. And then when you get good, throw everything you know out the window because things go bad. Out there.
Test the waters before you dive in. Just give yourself plenty of pad between you and the storm. And I know you're going to think, man, I'd like to be closer. Don't go for the close shots just yet. Wait till you've actually intercepted several tornadoes for several years. Yeah, I don't know. Just be careful.
Sometimes, some storms are really very simple to follow. LP supercell, classic supercell, by itself, good radar, good data, not too many chasers. You can sit there, watch it, set up a barbecue, especially in Colorado.
All right. Wait for those storms. Don't think you're going to milk a rain-wrapped wedge out. Those beautiful shots. Just wait for that high-based, LP classic supercell.
And your classic 2% slight risk days can yield some amazing results.
Oh yeah, those dry line days, man. Yeah.
Slow moving storms, but you still got to factor one thing: lightning.
Right. Yeah.
Lightning, one of the biggest risks. So, what is one of the biggest risks? Someone asked that question. With chasing, what's one of the greatest dangers of chasing?
That right there.
Oh yeah, you're right. So this is really important. One thing we factor for one of the biggest risks of all time. Driving is one of those great, and this is actually really quite important. Sorry, we're going to put some serious mode on here for a minute.
Seriously?
I think Yeah, serious. No, we discussed this earlier.
All right.
We have a funny side. We have a serious side as well. One of the greatest risks, and a lot of people don't talk about this, is the dangers of chasing. I think the most dangerous thing of chasing is when you're in the field, doing what you do best, and I think you'd agree with this, is that one thing that could probably kill you is eating. So, the dangers of chasing is the crappy food you eat on the road. And the more food you eat, the higher the risk
You can eat that?
Of heart disease. You can have the one on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know where it went.
want one?
Yeah, I'll have one
I'm
of
trying to
those.
hide the chip packet so we can't. This might be a private stream. Actually, it's quite good. But I don't want to get sued. So actually, these are pretty good. We're not going to reveal the brand just in case we get sued. I'm sure these are quite healthy, but eating, oh my god, these are quite good.
You're wearing shorts. What do you wipe your hands on, dude?
I wear shorts because I'm Australian.
Yeah, but why do you wipe your hands on?
So, eating,
Like your chest or something?
I'm fine. I'll be fine. This is one of the things. Seriously, eating. So, what were the statistics? How many chasers have passed away? How many friends have we lost in storm chasing?
So we've lost in 4 storm chasers have been killed in action by tornadoes, and 1 in every 4 Americans will die of heart disease.
So, what we did there was probably a bad example.
It's a good example.
Good example.
They got it. They're not. These
They
aren't.
got it.
Yeah, this isn't Facebook. This isn't Facebook. These guys are
Oh,
sharp.
yeah.
They know.
We are
they
with the
get-
elite.
yeah.
We are with the YouTube crowd.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mark.
Do they sell Doritos in Straya?
Oh, shit. Well, you said the brand name, not me. I'll be going now. See you later.
Oh,
Sorry, are you dealing with a lawsuit or mine?
bring it.
The
Yeah.
answer is yes. Doritos are available in Australia. It's a very well-known brand. I'm sure Doritos make a healthy corn chip. That was not a general guidance of all things unhealthy. We just seemed to be the most appropriate thing for the crunch. That was pre-prepared. I came up with it, and I think we sold it really well. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh, we're so big soon.
Let's talk some weather.
Okay, so let's talk. Let's actually answer some questions. So I'm sure there's questions here we're not even watching.
Right, sponsor. Now Garrett thinks that we're now. See, he thinks like I do. We're now going to be sponsored by Doritos.
Not a chance. We just told people are going to die of heart disease.
So do they. Have you ever watched the TV commercials? This product may cause your, this to fall off. It may cause this to do that.
Things falling off is a bad thing, especially if it's on a body part.
Hank, did you ever get
Like
to
your own.
freak out stage with the Medill tornado? No. That was a really simple, easy tornado to chase. It was LP, like we said earlier. It was high-based. I could see everything. It was moving at a reasonable speed, and I already knew the road. So, no, there was absolutely no freak out other than just being visually, shocked of how beautiful it was, even though somebody's dying. But those are the kind of things that we say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you being in the debris field or right on the edge of the debris field while being so calm about it.
Yeah.
I really would have liked to have been there.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my
be fine.
last decent tornado. I got one tornado in March, but it's been a year, guys, since I brought you guys the goods, and I hope that streak ends soon.
So why is that? Why was it such a quiet year?
I think it was because the high cape, the heat in the mid levels, and the decoupling of the jet stream with the moisture, it was just decoupled. If you followed normally, with the cap isn't quite so strong so far north, and this year it was just everything. Last year, everything seemed to be capped in thermonuclear cap. Degrees Celsius that I've never seen. 18, I might be exaggerating, but just crazy. Degrees at 700 millibars.
Now, we have a pretty educated crowd. The cap is a warm layer of air in the atmosphere. The storm has to go through this. The cap is a good thing because it keeps the storm like a lid on a boiling pot.
Yeah.
And if you break through the cap, a few things can trigger it, but when it goes off, it can go nuclear.
Think of
But
your.
if
I
you-
always
if-
think.
yeah.
I always think of the Coke bottle that's warm in the car, and when you open it, psh, that's the cap breaking. So all that energy is bottled up, and if it breaks, you have a thunderstorm. If it doesn't break, you just got soda pop
in a bottle.
in a bottle,
Yeah, that's a bad thing.
and that's what we had last year: soda pop in a bottle.
So, will the bottle break this year?
Yeah, it will if then you put in battery acid and tinfoil. Not that I've
Or
done
what
that
if,
as a kid.
or what do we
And throw it,
send things that make it break? Don't send anything legal through the mail. Care of Hank Schyma.
Felix.
Houston, Texas.
Felix wants to know, Daniel,
Okay, into questions. What are we?
what's your favorite
Applebee's.
American?
Actually, Applebee's and Olive Garden.
Really? So one thing you got to know about Daniel, guys, is that we are all in slow motion to him. Okay? So when it sounds like this, Daniel has a brain that can multitask on a speed. He's got what, 10 processors up here, whereas we all have about 6. He can do things like you should see the things that he does with technology and electronics while just walking around the house. So just so you know, nobody in the world I've ever met can multitask like this guy.
Is it because I think and talk really quickly?
Right. He's doing this for us, yeah.
I think the ability to slow down one's thoughts is difficult. What do you think?
I think
You've had no idea how hard that is for me to do.
Yeah.
The normal speak, this is the normal speak. This is how I talk normally. Everyone who knows me knows I talk at this speed. I'm like Jeff Petrowski. We love Jeff. Jeff's great. But the difference between me and Jeff is I can actually slow down.
Whatever.
What? No, Jeff's awesome.
No,
Jeff talks like this all the time. All the time. This is
whatever that you can slow down. I didn't.
Well, no.
Whatever about Jeff. Forgot. Whatever. You can't slow down.
No, I can't.
You can slow down for like 4 seconds and then you're off.
That wasn't 4 seconds. I did that for at least a minute and a half. Do you have any idea how hard that was for me? What?
Yeah, you're Neo. Enough said.
Neo.
Yeah.
That's from Matrix, is it?
Yeah, he's fast.
Okay. Fast. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's how I work. Yeah. If you want to multitask and run 5 GPSs, 8 cameras, 8 radio systems, and drive.
Wendy says that you're fast.
There's 2 of them.
Wendy says she's from New Jersey and that you're fast as her slow. She's calling you out, dude.
New Jersey. New Jersey's fast.
Is it?
You want to get things done, go to New Jersey.
No, you go to New Jersey because you can't afford to stay on the island.
Send all complaints to care of Hank Schyma. Hank Schyma in Houston, Texas.
Yeah, you take the bridge to Jersey, you stay at the motel, whatever, and then you go back to New York.
Samantha's asking, how long are you in the States for? 107 days. No. 87 days, 107, factoring quarantine back in Australia. So 87 days. But it takes time. I drive into Los Angeles, go to Las Vegas, pick up my car, re-register, all the logistics of getting that done, then make my way across into the plains. Then I also got to factor getting back, getting car into storage. This year's a little bit more complicated a lot more complicated. Because you're talking about getting pre-COVID tests to get back in the country. I need permission just to get back home. This year, people say, how hard was it? It was about 20% harder than usual, 20% more work. But for me, my checklist is, I think, 657 lines long.
Not exaggerating. Yeah.
No, that is that. I actually worked out. It's on an Excel spreadsheet. There's actually 2 sets of checklists to get into this country, to leave a home, family, everything back here. Guys, for a long time. It's a lot of work.
That's dedication.
That's a lot of work. But if we don't do it, the thing is, because we're running so much radio gear, broadcast gear, first aid gear, everything we bring over here, everything we have here to check, to do a trip as long as I have and to run a car here, it's a major undertaking. It's a lot of work.
Hank and Daniel,
yes,
which is your favorite state to chase in?
Oh, good, Colorado.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's my worst.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I have such horrible luck. So he's
sorry.
He's saying Simla is what he's saying.
I'm so sorry.
Because
so sorry.
Now he's adding pain to the insult, not insult to the pain.
Ah.
I love chasing in.
What's your favorite state?
I like Kansas and Nebraska.
Nebraska's nice.
The whole Kansas and Nebraska is together, especially
I like the storm motions of Colorado. You got to be very careful in Colorado if you're driving a car and you want to take a dirt road. Some are gravel, some go to gravel to mud, and mud equals quicksand. It's getting stuck and eating food and begging and pleading for a tow truck in the middle of nowhere. You got to be very careful in Colorado because it's like, oh, this looks really, really good, and you're stuck like quicksand. Very much like Texas, Oklahoma, and Nebraska, depending where you go.
Johnny Glesner says Ohio is the only correct answer to chase. I've never even chased in Ohio.
I've chased Idaho. I've chased Ohio.
Yeah. You've seen more of the United States than I have.
I've chased to the point in Cape Canaveral where I end up. I kid you not. I couldn't believe this. I was chasing Cape Canaveral. You think I'm bullshitting?
No, I know you're.
I chased Cape Canaveral to Florida.
Nova Scotia.
No. But here's the thing. The storm kept going past the Kennedy Space Center, and I shit you not, I made it to the security center of NASA to say, look, I'm just chasing the storm. Is it okay if I go in? This is a true story. The security guard said, this is really cool. You're a storm chasing truck. I was hoping I'd get permission into the space shuttle. I thought that'd be really cool.
Gotta use it, yeah.
He wouldn't let me in, but he thought my car was cool. Now, this is NASA we're talking about here. Now, I know there's lots of antennas and stuff going on here, but when NASA says your car is cool, you know you are an absolute total nerd. Hashtag nerd. Nerds are cool. Hashtag. So, back to people talking about El Reno. It's a true story about NASA.
Come to Pennsylvania, Daniel.
I've chased New York. I've chased Massachusetts. I've chased Pennsylvania. I've chased Ohio. I've chased Idaho.
Damn, dude.
I've chased Canada. And when I remember what happened was 2018, I think it was. There was a death ridge, which means like whole high pressure system comes in, shuts down the planes, and we finished up. We had barbecue with a few friends in Kansas City, Missouri. So I decided, hey, let's go see some friends in Toronto.
That's where Samantha
Canada.
lives, I think.
It's in Toronto, Canada. I kept going to Montreal. Then I went to Halifax, Nova Scotia in my RAV.
Did you get a video of an iceberg?
I did. The plan was to not tell anyone, I kid you not tell anyone, take the ferry from Sydney, Nova Scotia to Newfoundland, take the second ferry to the other side of Newfoundland, which is kind of technically Labrador, but it's Newfoundland, go as far north as possible, which has cell phone signal, and stream icebergs going down the car. One person knew about this, George Crunis and Mum, that's it. The whole world, didn't tell anyone. The plan was to actually stream icebergs going past my RAV, just to screw with people during the death ridge to work out where I was. I was closer to Iceland than I was to Colorado. And then we came back and chased a moderate risk through New York State. Don't chase in New York State.
It's a 2008 Toyota RAV4.
2011 RAV4.
2011.
I think I drove 54,800 kilometers in 75 days.
About 30,000 miles.
I think it was, yeah,
32,000
it was
miles.
very, very close to that. It was a lot of distances.
Yeah.
So back to questions. So we traveled long ways. Yeah. Sometimes out of desperation, sometimes out of love and passion.
Oh, okay, here's one.
Okay, let's get to some real questions, because I'm sorry these people...
I think Daniel has talked 90% of this. What's up, Hank? How's the lizards in the backyard? Oh,
yeah,
man, that's a source.
I saw the lizards. The lizards.
That's a source. So all the lizards, 99% of the lizards died in the last freeze, because 99% of the lizards are invasive from Cuba. And so Jose, Hoseby, Abby, the dude, Ziggy are all DED dead. So I did rescue one lizard. His name is Lucky now. And somehow 3 others survived, and I think they got inside my hot water heater. There's a little hole in the wall, so I now went from about 150 to 200 brown anoles to 4, and I'm starting to feeding them and getting to know them all over again. And however, all of the indigenous lizards lived, so the green anoles are all doing great, and Daniel got to see me.
I did
hand feed one of the green.
It's amazing. I'm the Australian, but they're scared of me, but they like you.
Well,
I tried doing the Steve Irwin thing. I had the camera going, and it's like they're gone.
I thought you were gonna grab it. I was like, no,
I wasn't gonna grab it. I thought I was trying to do the Australian.
He approached my lizards and he goes, "This is what we do in Australia." And I thought he was gonna.
They just went.
Yeah, everybody else grabs them and hangs them on their ear and throws them over the fence. And so I didn't know. You know.
They're scared of me. They're hiding in the little corners.
Then I realized he's Australian. He's cool. He's not like the average Texan that does those kind of things. Sorry, Texas. You know I love you, but you know how you are.
It's not up for that comment. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now we've got a couple of questions we saw from before. Scott said, "What is your favourite storm you've been on?" Hang on, sorry. What was it? Daniel and Hank. Can you sing together? No. The answer is no. We can't sing together.
Yeah. A few more shots of Doritos, and we'll sing together with you.
You want to blend some Doritos and some sort of.
We're gonna sing. We got to do it
on the $20,000 Patreon stream. We might not happening because I can't sing.
Here's a great question.
What's the question? Daniel, did the El Reno tornado make you more cautious around rain wrap wedges?
Made me
not at all.
It made me
absolutely perfectly
more
fine.
cautious.
Absolutely
What you
perfectly
did.
fine around.
Yeah.
I try to. I was cautious around rain wrap wedges to start with. I just didn't know I was driving into one. Had I known what I know now, it would not have happened. That's kind of the whole thing's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Hour and 11 minutes. Remember to breathe.
I tell everybody, two videos you need to watch before every storm season is his El Reno all the way through, and also Skip Talbot's Lawrence, Kansas video. I think I watch them every year, and they both scare hopefully some sense into me.
Okay, Scott said, what is your favorite storm you've both been on?
Oh, well, that's funny you asked that, Scott, because it's really weird. Daniel and I, all the pretty tornadoes that he gets, I missed, and then all the ones I got, he missed. It's like we've seen them all. But that's a good question. I think
No.
El Reno, he said, what's the question? Prettiest?
I'm not going to say the favorite. We've both been on Pilger.
Pilger. Oh, yeah.
Look, Pilger.
Pilger. No, hands down. Pilger.
Yeah, but Pilger, people died in Pilger. It was an incredible storm, but it wasn't my favorite storm, only because there was loss of life. We did a bit of search and rescue there. You did an incredible video of
my
the world's fastest tornado.
My thought's a little different, because when there's 2 EF4s on the ground, I'm thinking there's going to be 30, 40 deaths. So when there was only 2, I thought, wow, anytime 2 EF4s on the ground and you only have 2 deaths, I think that's actually kind of amazing.
Gareth said, how many terabytes do you use up in an active month of local storage? It's a complex answer, but how much data do we go through in mobile data? So now you run some interesting gear. You run some interesting gear.
I delete a lot of my footage, so I only probably use about 3 terabytes a year. But now I've just bought cameras that are going to eat that up really fast. And then of course I just have LTE is the only thing I run.
Yeah, so 3 gigabytes. As far as when we're running cameras, video cameras, GoPro, I don't dump down all the video footage. What I do, because you don't know what's going to happen in the field. Photos, everything's kept. I'm running some Canon R5s. I've just, thanks to your help, I've managed to upgrade. We've wanted them for a little while, but they've come to a price point where we really wanted 4K in camera and higher megapixel. 21 megapixel just didn't cut it for what I really wanted. So now we're running some bigger cameras and shooting raw is 54 megabytes of photo. Gets quite big. So I got this year, I run 2 5 terabyte drives as primary backup drives. I will probably go over that with all the footage. But on an average season, at the moment, I think last time I was here, that 3.5 gig in HD, not 4K. You start running 4K, quadruple that. A big broadcast camera back at home, we're looking sort of 50 megabits, 600 megabits a second. Now, I'm not running that here, but looking at data, realistically, if you want to do it properly, you're looking anywhere between 3 to 12 gigabytes. Sorry, correction, 3 to 12 terabytes per season in both photos and video.
I just use this.
Oh yeah, an iPhone.
That's all I do.
Yeah, well, I run a lot more camera gear.
Oh, I know.
Now, as far as data,
right.
Now you don't live stream. I do.
I don't live stream,
so you've got now. What do you use for? What do you use for carriers when you're in the field?
Carriers.
Carrier like AT&T, Verizon. How many do you have? What is your fail safe?
Oh, right.
When you're out in the field when things are going bad.
Run away. So Daniel, every time he comes over, he just fixes all my stuff. He fixes my cameras. He wires things better. He's the one that put the radio in my car. But he's really good at all that. And he can also. I can't do that, man. So like, the thought of having to stream live just makes me cringe. So if you want to see,
it's a lot of work.
You've mastered it. You are the guy to stream live. So if you want to see me stream live, just watch his feed, because nowadays it's like we're always on the same storms.
Remember that time we ran into each other and you just grabbed the guitar and you started doing like an Elvis song in front of the stream?
Yeah, and then you drove off, and I was standing on the road.
Well, it's a storm to catch. You can sit there and play guitar all day long.
It was a funny 3 seconds until you drove off. Yeah.
Storms come first. What can I say? It was great seeing it all, but here we go. So, other things. What's the most expensive vehicle repair to date? And they hope that doesn't jinx this season. Thanks a lot. Yeah, what's the most... Well, your one was... You've got a bit of a story about your tit. What happened to your tit at one stage?
You mean when when somebody smashed into it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Was that the meth head, or was that the drunk driver, or was that the angry dude?
All of the above. Yeah. And then last year I almost got hit again. I mean, so now
that was a crackhead.
That was
ladies and gentlemen, don't do drugs. Drugs are bad.
Okay.
So my one, most expensive repair to date. You would actually think it was the El Reno semi-hit. The El Reno Impact I fixed myself. It took about a month of 5 layers of Bondo and painting and stuff like that. If you go up to my car and kick the back of the RAV, you will break your foot because it's about that thick of Bondo. It's actually like almost stronger than the engine. I'm not...
I know, I can see it. It's right there.
It's a remold of the back of the car. The most expensive run we had with damage was actually just south of Roswell last year, where I was in a 3.25 to 3.75 inch hail core for about 4 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes, at about 75 to 80 mile per hour downdraft, and all my I've got reinforced windows with the 3M laminate. It blew out 3 of the windows, windshield, and the 2 of the reinforced ones. It took antennas, those little XM satellite antennas. It took the antennas. It's a magnetic antenna, like a little puck antenna type of thing you use for a GPS. It took the antenna. I want to go back to Roswell. Took the antenna. The hail was so strong, the antenna's gone. It just left 2 bits of cable behind. 3 of the little dipole, little whip antennas, gone. Like cut from the base. It took the dome antenna.
Sure, wasn't it just a vandal?
No. This is some angry god of all things. Yeah. Took the dome antenna, crushed that in. It blew out windows. The GoPro mount. You know those GoPro cameras? You know the mount on the 3M safety field?
We all know GoPro.
Yeah, the GoPro. Cameras, there's mounts you have to get a wrench. And
I like how he throws out antenna names at us, like we all know him, and then he goes, "Have you ever heard of the GoPro things? The GoPro cameras?"
I'm just being one with everyone here. The GoPro mount has that really strong 3M safety film, not safety film, the tape. It took the GoPro. The GoPro came off the car. I found the GoPro. It took the mount clean off the camera, off the car. It actually took the mount.
A lot of force.
It took the mount off the car. I don't know where the mount is. I got the GoPro back. It ripped that car to pieces.
Hank, any news on sprites? And any? And the second question was any research results from the green sprites discovery? That's what Chris Tyne said.
The ghosts.
The ghosts. Ooh, yeah. So Paul and I discovered the green ghosts and have submitted them to a NASA scientist who still, for some reason, she requests to remain anonymous. But is about to publish a paper soon. We were expecting it in January, but you can imagine as a scientist, a lot of things that you've got to get, understand. And so hopefully we'll have those results soon. You've never had it.
Here's a question. Famous said, Hank and Daniel, are DSLRs cameras with high tolerance a must for capturing good weather videos and images?
No.
No. If you're in the right place, right time, tripoded, if you can. It comes down to the storm. Are you doing day? Are you doing night? Are you looking for lightning? Are you looking for storm structure? If you have like a camera on a tripod with the ISO, say, 1600 or ISO 800, f2.8 or f4, depending on your lens, and you say you do a 1 to 5th exposure during daytime, it's just going to be blown out. So it comes down to the storm. How much motion do you want? Do you want, if it's spinning, is there motion? Are there storm chasers in the foreground? Are there people in place? It's going to come down to framing. Is it a news type of shot, or are you in the field? Do you want motion in the field, or do you want it to be a static shot? It comes down to a number of factors. Video, moving images, especially at 9,000 frames a second.
I just want a picture of a tornado, man. That's all I want. I want a picture of lightning.
Yeah, no, you get the picture of the tornado, but do you want the grass moving and blurred, some artistic film noir sort of setting, or do you want an instant sort of snap look at the iPhone? You could run around with your iPhones if you want.
Point is we had cameras that weren't
professional.
We had cameras that were not that sensitive. I mean, just a few days back, and we all made it work then. Technology keeps getting better and better, but you can make it work with what you got. It's almost like something about the 4K. It's so real and clear that it takes out the creepiness. But man, those old Super 8 films, it looks so...
At 12 frames a second.
Oh, it looks great.
Serious question. Don has a serious...
Don. All right.
Serious question.
Yeah.
Does Hank have a Blackmagic design camera?
Grab that one.
The answer is... Their answer is... oh, shit, sorry. Oh, God. Oh, it's broken.
That's right.
Oh, God. I'm so sorry.
Way to go, dude.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, Don, here's my
fine.
Blackmagic camera, and now I think this is kind of irrelevant compared to my new camera. This does 4K at 30 frames per second, and this is what I used to catch lightning in the daytime. And I got that sweet shot of lightning hitting the tree, and I mean, just that alone has gotten 11 million views, which kind of paid for the camera. So, but I'm thinking about putting this sucker on sale, and I called up B&H to see how much they'd give me for it, and they said $800. I think I paid $2,000 for it, but I'll probably sell it for $1,500.
Saying that, I'm not going to drop it, I promise.
Yeah.
Focusing said Blackmagic camera. Now, I'm used to using broadcast gear myself, but with a lot of SLR cameras, we're going through this with Hank doing center point AF. What's it like focusing this camera in the field when everything is going down very quickly? Because a lot happens when you've got a camera in front of you. What do you do?
I'll show you. When
everything happens at the same time?
I've got a neutral density on this, and I've got the battery's about to die. But no, you just crank the what do you call the little lines? The peaking, focus peaking. Crank focus peaking, and you do it on the horizon. You just never touch it, and it stays like that.
One thing we did...
Now, it's not as easy as what you set up on my cameras, which is the back focus. It's not that easy, but you can get it done.
Now, we should clarify that. One thing I've been shooting news for a long time with SLR cameras or even mirrorless cameras. There's one thing you're doing. If you're using an auto, especially at night time, especially when it's rainy, blurry, there's a lot of things happening. You're shooting rain through the windshield. Focus is going to be all over the place. So what I do is what you call rear center point AF. So what I do is I have a button. The front trigger, all it does is lock the exposure and takes the photo. What I do, and we'll just set this up with the Hank's camera. We push this button. All it will do is take the photo and the exposure. But this rear button here, same with my Canon, same you can do this with Nikon, you can have that as the focus. So you get your settings right, because every time you zoom in and out, it will change the focus. You may not notice it, but it will change it. So you set your focal length, hit the rear center button, it's going to be center point AF. It's not going to be all over the place. It's going to just focus to the center. You're using the AF circuitry within the camera, which is very, very good. In fact, that's how I've been doing it for years. Then you can just take your photo. You put the camera down, take the photo. It's not going to hunt. So you can force to a single point at night or daytime and say, I want my focus there, kick in with the motor, and you establish that rear button to be the focus, front button to be the exposure. Nighttime, you put the camera to manual mode, still focuses the same way, except then you do all your manual settings because you want maybe an 8-second or 4-second open exposure. Nighttime changes everything. Dusk, you can use the AV mode, aperture value, you set your aperture, set the ISO, and let the camera do the work for you. You can do bracketing to say, give me plus or minus if you feel you need to. But if you set the camera and say, I want my ISO at this, you work with what available light you have to work with. But you know you've got your focus right. If you're shooting raw, you'd be surprised what you can pull out when you get it not quite spot on. You get the focus wrong, just take the camera.
Ryan says back button autofocus.
Take this before I break it.
Yeah, is the only way to go. So yeah, I like it. Daniel came over and he set up, he showed me this back focus. You guys have all heard me complain. This is the hardest thing to focus, and I've got a lot of really good, would have been good footage if it wasn't out of focus. So between him
video,
video of I've got a lot of out of focus stuff. Hopefully this helps take care of that. But also this year, I also bought one of the Atomos Ninja 5 recorders. So now I have a screen in the car, so I can just look down a bigger screen and see if I'm in focus. We were at twist Tourette syndrome. So
we were. What is that?
So yeah, that's what I call the uncontrollable urge to state the obvious when a tornado is on the ground, which is basically
the tornado's on the ground.
Tornado's on the ground.
Ah, but some people say
over and over. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. And so it's like
right. Okay.
And the average person, when a tornado's on the ground, you get what I call twist Tourette's. Daniel obviously does not have that, because if you've ever watched his streams live, he's clearly, spotting the storm and talking to the National Weather Service and relaying all the information, street names, the velocity of the storm to the National Weather Service.
or the net control of the amateur.
In other words, he's not. Yeah, he does not have.
The live stream.
Did you
is
ever
interesting.
have Twitch Tourette's?
No, I don't believe I have.
So my first tornado that I got, I kind of had Twitch Tourette's.
Oh, I may have said it a few times, but I didn't say it like 37 times.
I did. I did
So
the whole.
what-
Oh my God, that's a tornado. Oh my God, that's a tornado. And because it's your first one, guys, you know, and this was in 2002.
Yeah, but how many qualifies? I mean,
I think we all have it.
Are we diagnosing this?
Chris E got his first dose yesterday. Yep, I got mine. Nat got hers. When did you get your first dose?
Just over 3 weeks ago.
So what happens if
4 weeks ago.
if you don't get it? Like, what do you have to do to get the vaccine to get back into Australia?
No, I have to get back to Australia. I have to you have to be an Australian resident. You need to apply. That's basically.
So do you get? But they have a different vaccine there.
We have something called the AstraZeneca. It's been banned in another country. They've stopped it and started it a few times, apparently due to blood clots. But remember, I've only had one vaccine shot. It's effective, but I'm treating it this year as I have nothing. So the social distancing thing,
right.
You're different because you've had the vaccine as well.
Well,
but
no.
in the same respect, you've also been
Well, we're
very...
also traveling. So it's like last year, it's the pandemic hit and it was lockdown. And I'm thinking, I'm traveling. Like, I'm going. So I thought, I wasn't scared of getting it, but I thought I was more scared of being the asshole who spreads it down the interstate.
30-year-olds can get killed from it.
Well, no. I
I
didn't want to be the guy spreading it all over Tornado Alley. So
Because
I
you're a nice
took
person as well.
extra precautions. Like I even did, which I hate throwing away plastic. Like I can't stand wasting plastic. I actually did the vinyl gloves. When I did the thing, I brought all my food. The only thing I never once went in and did fast food or until I think in June I actually did a couple gas stations, went in and got some snacks because they were but I might have done that twice. But yeah, it's like I'm not scared of getting the virus. I just want to make sure I'm not the guy who spreads it down the interstate.
I mean, so this year logistically it's a lot harder and a lot more travel. You want to be careful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Emonk says, missed the last Q&A. Glad to be here. Glad that Daniel's made it to the U.S. Yeah, for all of us storm chasers, we're all super, super glad to have Daniel here. That's why we had to do this.
As far as I'm concerned, the highlight, whilst I love seeing the tornadoes, what I really live for, what I really love is meeting up with friends on the road. And that's what I'm going to miss the most. Obviously, my American friends, my Canadian friends aren't going to make it over.
Rachel just says, why don't you stay?
Because the healthcare system sucks and I'll go bankrupt. I'm here for 3 months every year. Besides winter, how cold did it get here?
Yeah. Eat some more mole while you're here. Did we do the mole last time?
We did do the mole. It was very good.
Felix, do you remember that? Jeez, that's a good, that was 2 years ago.
2019.
Yeah.
It feels like yesterday.
Took you to La Tapatia. This is my favorite mole, man. Oh, it's so good.
Like a Mexican chocolate sauce thing. It was quite delicious.
So Daniel chases everything. He chases marginal risks. He chases 2% sloppy days. You know me, I'm a little bit more choosy. And so Samantha says, what's a guy like Daniel Shaw going to do this next week with no severe weather days? What do you do when you're not in your RAV4?
Really a little bit different at the moment. I would have loved to have done the NASA Houston thing, which was done.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but coronavirus is going to shut that down. Now, it's interesting. Now, Hank, being the consummate professional, has taught me how to play the guitar. And I've actually got quite good over the weeks you've been training me.
Oh, yeah.
So...
you got your first...
We're going to play a little song. And how does it go exactly?
Just go.
What song is this again?
You haven't named it.
I've got no idea how to play.
Dude, don't. You're performing. Don't. Okay, so there's little.
That was horrible.
Here's your first lesson, everybody.
You are the nicest person in the planet, but that was outright
Here's everything.
horrible.
Here's everything you need to know about music and playing an instrument. If you hit one wrong note, it's bad, and if you hit two wrong notes, it's jazz.
Oh, that's right. No, you meant to be up and down the fret while it's going.
Yeah. See, you're playing jazz, dude. Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah. Look, they're loving it.
Support us now, and I'll get better with time.
You know what you should do? You should score your own videos with that.
I think
When a tornado's on the ground, you should play that.
I think I'd lose subscribers if I do that. It is a nice guitar. He played it earlier. I'm sure it's talented.
Oh, it's a piece of junk, actually.
Really? Mm-hmm. 3, 2, 1. Cue real talent.
Yeah, this. There may be a philosophical message in this next presentation. We'll find out and see. But this was a guitar that I bought. It was a classical guitar that had the pickup in it for doing live shows, and the pickup fell off, and it felt plasticky, and I hated this guitar. And so I thought, what if I just remove everything I hate from this guitar and replace it with things that I think is cool? Well, I like this guitar. And so Jack Massey, one of my artist friends, he put all the coins that from around the world in the countries that I've traveled on the keys. So the keys are now coins from Europe and Thailand. This is a rope that I made. These are all some lyrics. This is La Malédiction de la Danse du Poulet. And Jack does art with wrenches, so you'd have to know him, but these are all wrenches covering up that hole. And so what happened was the guitar now has voodoo in its...
What? Sorry?
So yeah, now I like the guitar. So that worked. So there you go, Felix.
Sorry, explain what's this about the voodoo thing? Am I cursed?
No, it's like vibe. Yeah.
I thought voodoo was meant to be like scary stuff.
No, you can have good voodoo.
Sorry, is he bullshitting me?
No, what, dude?
Are you making fun of me?
No, voodoo's good voodoo, bad voodoo. Yeah.
I hope you all enjoyed the stream. For the patrons supporting Pecos, Hank, or in this case, Hank Schyma.
Who talked you into doing Patreon?
You did.
Yeah, and why is that?
Because it's keeping me chasing.
And because did I not? So I don't even go to Facebook anymore because is it not the coolest people? Like, if somebody's actually supporting you, they're pretty generous. There's probably a long stream of events that made them educated and compassionate and
entertained.
Yeah, it's more. It's even more of a.
Thank you.
It's more of even a like-minded group. So even though we're not giving them money,
I didn't realize Patreon worked that way.
You guys are giving us so much. I can't tell you how much. I just put all your money into some gear this year, and I can't wait to give you guys a new angle on storms and some new presentations, and it's just made. I'm so excited to have a new gear, to just that much more inspired to get some new things with it.
Well, you've spent some big money. $11,000 for a camera is a lot of money.
And that's just the body. That's not the lens.
That's not the lens, the body. This trip this year with all the coronavirus and all the logistics and all the extra quarantine, we're looking at about 45,000 Australian dollars this year for this trip.
For you, yeah.
But to run a car here every year with everything in the hotels, we can't. There's no cutting corners this year. It's being done.
Yeah, you guys are You guys are career savers.
I can't believe what it costs to get the first aid kit over here.
Yeah.
Normally, because I normally fly Qantas, I carry a lot of medical gear with me because I do volunteer first responder stuff back in Australia. I take gear with me because obviously I'm out here.
Which he never tells you guys about. He never brags about it.
It's here. I mean, the person's going to need I have an AED in the car. The person's going to need who's going to need the AED?
They want
me. Look at this. Look at this.
They want to.
Who's going to have? I hope you have your CPR skills up to.
At some point, I'd like to send my guys a video of your car and all your stuff so they can kind of see what's going on.
We can do the behind. So I'm sure we can arrange it. Yeah. So no, this year was American Airlines. I normally fly Qantas. They wanted, was it $600, I think, $300 Australian each way? Some ridiculous amount. We actually managed to get that down. We're down at $300 just to bring my first aid kit to this country.
I thought you meant, I'm thinking $300 is not a big ticket to fly for.
No, that's just my baggage of the extra first aid kit. The logistics this year were unbelievable, but the cost. But again, what was amazing, I couldn't believe, is coming into the country, we came off with the pilots. There was only 30 people on the flight, including the pilots. And I was like the last one off with all the gear and stuff. And I'm out there with the pilots. The pilot helped me carry a camera bag. The co-pilot helped me carry another bag. We come into Los Angeles airport. Guess how many people are waiting to come into the entire country.
I know, two.
The entire country. One, besides the pilots,
Yeah.
it was it. We got to pick between the border entry people. They look sad and lonely. So I ended up having a conversation with one. We're talking about Vegemite. And yeah, I think he actually sort of cheered up. The poor guy was lonely. I said, "What are you doing for entertainment?" He goes, "Nothing. There's no one here." It's I felt like we couldn't do the hug thing because of the social distancing, and I felt really sad for the border permit people because they were he looked sad. I tried to cheer him up.
Did you try to help out a storm clerk with first aid?
Oh yeah, okay. I was chasing yesterday, and I go to get some fuel. I had to go to the bathroom quickly, and the store clerk has blood coming from his head.
What?
Well, he went and hit his head on the shelf, and he didn't have any band-aids. What do you just let him bleed? So I gave a non-adherent dressing. I said, "Wrap this around you. You look like Dracula."
Did you really? You're awesome.
I caught up with the store and I was stuck behind the score line. We couldn't get past it. What are you going to just leave a bleeding person there? He self-treated. I gave him a little non-adherent dressing and wrapped this around. You look like Dracula. It was fine. Yeah. So how do we end this? We discussed how we're going to end this. We'll wing it.
I've got a great idea.
What's the great idea? Okay. Now the video goes on for another 4 hours. Everyone just toilet break intermission.
Bye.
This is going to continue. Yeah, we're done. Okay, I've had enough. But we're done. Who wants ice cream? Nat, do you have any ice cream? We're still going live, but we don't care. We're just going to let it stream for hours. They're not going to notice. They're not going to notice. No, it'll be fine. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine.
Just run in there and start dancing in front of the camera.
We're just going to leave it. We're going to leave it streaming for hours. They're going to be stuck there. We're going to be watching a movie in the background. They're not going to know what the hell is going on. I mean, it's still going. I'll switch off in a few hours. They might think we might come back. It's just all ploy. It's all fake. It's all fake. Let's just go to sleep. Let it run all night. Next couple of weeks will be fine. Hank? Hank? Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, buddy!